Call this meeting to order before we get into any further trouble. It is Tuesday, February the 27th, 2024. We're here at 12:30 to discuss the SCSO vehicle purchasing funding. So where are we, Captain?
Well, you guys approved the contracts, so now it's just a matter of getting the funds released, and that's what I'm here for today. I have all the numbers for each of the vehicles here. They said give or take $200 to $300 difference for window tint, but essentially this is going to be the cost, which is what we talked about 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks ago. And then I have the Raycom bill as well as the Premier installation ones that I sent over. So it should be the ones you have, but I have a copy if you guys would like to look at them.
Okay. This still fell in with all the original amounts that
Yes,
we approved.
yes, it did.
So we've already approved it, so help me out, Madam Grant Writer.
Yeah.
What do we need to do since we've already approved it?
This is just approving the contract. So the funding has been allocated and the procurement has now been met, and so now it's just signing the contracts if you approve them as written.
Do we need to approve them individually?
I don't know.
I would think so in this case because of
By each car?
The terms differ.
Oh, by each car, no. But by the Raycom, Premier, and Dave Smith would be separate.
All right.
Correct.
The
So let me
vehicle
see the
and
Dave
accessories
Smith
to.
file.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the actual vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So we have 41,631 on the first vehicle, 41,975, 41,975, 41,975, and 41,975. That's how many vehicles?
Five.
Okay. All right, and we've already voted on the funding, so
Yep.
right now I'd entertain a motion to approve the contracts to make these purchases at the amounts I just read.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously to approve those contracts.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that all? That works for you, the way we're doing that? Okay. And now for the Raycom, tell us what this one was for. This is for the radios.
And the nice thing, I don't have control over how they invoice, so thankfully they put them on one sheet. So this is for the radios, and this will cover all the vehicles for the Raycom bill. Okay.
So this is a contract for $17,432.53, which is the amount we talked about, I think, last week when you and I did this one,
Yeah.
the radios. I think you were out for that. So we already discussed that, 17,000.
Covers all 5 vehicles.
Covers the radios for all
Yes.
5. I'd entertain a motion to approve the contract for $17,432.53.
Right? So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that passes unanimously.
Mm-hmm. And then this one, I'll give a brief explanation on why they're different numbers. So for this one, there's going to be 3 patrol vehicles, a canine, which is also a patrol vehicle, but is different outfit in a canine vehicle, and then a jail vehicle. So these 3, you'll see the numbers are all the same at the 15,000 and some change. And then you have the jail vehicle, which is significantly cheaper because there's not as much in it. And then you have the canine vehicle, which is more expensive. So it's at 19,000 and some.
So those are the cars and the radios. This is the outfitting, or what would you
Everything from lights to, for example, the canine cage to a lot of the programming. So they kind of both share different roles. It's not the same company. I don't want to get that confused. But one company will outfit the vehicles with the wiring and such. One does the programming and getting all the frequencies in, along with a lot of maintenance on those. And then lights and
cargo barriers,
Yes.
weapon mounts,
Yeah.
all of that. So we have 3 cars. Is that 15 each to outfit the cars at $15,365 and 16 cents for 3.
and then these are the other 2.
The other 2 outfitting would be $8,671.91 cents, and then 19,000. Is that the expensive one? Is the K9?
Yes.
$19,846.79 for the K9 vehicle.
Okay.
Okay. Does that add up to still within our?
That's what I was just looking at.
Still within the amount that we had.
Could you do a quick add on all of those?
Shouldn't go over because the initial was $375, correct? Because this is gonna be under 75,000, and then you have the under 20,000, so it shouldn't go over.
So the original was 405. And
Oh.
we have the 105 out of that already. So we're at about
Oh,
we have $299.99 and 32 cents.
okay. That was a totally different number. Coming into this late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, how
that's
much are
what I
we
was.
over?
So yeah, how much are we over? Were you adding that as we?
Oh, just a quick walk. I
can
had
do
like
it real quick.
260, and then I didn't have the radios in there. So yeah, if we could add those, or give me the numbers again, and I can add those.
I can give you a rush real quick. This won't be exact.
209 in the rigs.
So you already had the rigs. So then the radio was 17,432. I'll round off the pennies later.
And this is going to be like 74,000, very close to 74,000.
Then we had 8671. 19,846. And then 15,365 three times.
What was the 74? Was that for all of the outfitting?
Yes.
Okay. 17 for radio, 74 for outfitting, 86 for the jail, a 19 for the K9, and 315s for the other outfitting.
Correct.
Okay. And then just a quick round math, I had 209 on the cars. So that's at 375.
What's it come to?
375 and 47.
But we only had 299 left approved.
Yeah, just shy of 300.
So we're 75,000 over what we budgeted or what we. That's significant.
That is
Now, was this the prior two cars? Is that 160?
Right, so there was 405 total
on the
for all the rigs, and then there was the 52, so the 105,000 that came out for the other two. And so for these remaining
So the other two
five-
cars that were purchased in that November is why this is off.
I'm gonna go back and check one more.
In November of 22.
I think we're definitely off on the math. This isn't 375, at least according to my math. So I did the 41,631 times 5, which comes to 209.
Yep, I had
Okay.
209,000.
And then you add the 17,432. This is obviously going to be off by like $5 to $10. 17,432. And then you go, let's call this 45,000. And then 8,671 plus 19,846. So without adding all the cents, it's $300,824 is what I got.
Okay, and I did 46,000 because you got 15,3, so that'd be another. So 46,000 to come up with 300,949.
Yep, that's fine. And then even adding in a little extra there, I was going to, if it is over even by under 5,000, there is an additional push bumper amount that I wasn't going to bring up today, but now it seems appropriate, of like $4,900-ish range that we actually aren't going to use because of how they outfitted the cars. So that should give us $5,000. That'd be nice. $5,000 of wiggle room. Am I correct in saying that?
That would, yes,
Okay.
if that's reallocated. But I'm going to back that up on the number. So I have 209 for the rigs.
Mm-hmm.
I have the 17,434.
Yes.
8671 and 1986 for the outfitting. 46,000, excuse me. So I have 46, 17, and 8,000 for the outfitting. Now there was a 74,000 that you had in there.
The 74,000 was roughly all of this combined.
Gotcha. So that was the duplicate of doing.
We were adding it
Yes,
twice.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So it should put us right where we should be on the bills,
That makes more sense.
if not a
So
little
we're
under.
right
Okay,
around
yeah.
301.
If you get so far
Yeah,
off.
that's what I was going to say.
Between-
It's not going to be a good experience for me pitching cars.
Car wash.
Right.
So we're good?
That would put it, roughly 1,000, 1,500, depending on where that comes in over, so. Yeah.
But he's talking about pushing the push bumper.
Correct. So
So-
there's additional funds on the push bumper. There is 5,000 left in that push bumper budget that was approved to outfit the previous rigs in the first round. And 8 of those 10 that were proposed have been purchased. And so there's 2 left, which the cars came with them.
Yes, they came with them, so I think that would even show where that extra money went for the bids.
Okay, so we are within the grant, within the money that was allocated.
Correct. If you approve a move from the push bumper
To this.
purchase.
Well, should we just do a motion to approve the
301,000.
What, do the push bumper first?
However you want to do it.
We can move to utilize the unused portion of the push
Correct.
bumper.
Yeah.
And
I'd entertain a motion for that.
I'll motion to accept the bids as presented and to utilize what's left over of the push bumper to cover that little bit of difference.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
No.
No. Peggy has
I
anything?
just, after I read
Okay.
all these bids and everything, and there, I got, getting left out of this loop here.
And this
So
is all
that's okay.
so
We're getting
we'll
it all
you
back.
caught up on everything.
And
Yeah.
so no one gets a check until I see all the paperwork.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the 301,000 and with some of the leftover money from the push bumpers to cover that extra $1,000 or so there. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. So,
And then in the future, the clerk will be included on all bids and whatnot, sharing. It helps her for getting
Yeah.
our process.
So the procurement will be done
Before you come to them,
Mhm.
I wanna see everything, so I'm gonna have a checklist for you, so that's been up the legal, so it's, everything, and then when they come, they can go through the paperwork and look at it, and then that way they're aware of it before you come in and they can, I have this money.
That'd
And
be
then makes
Checklist.
it quicker for her to get
Yeah,
just first the
checklist
check.
might help.
Yeah.
that'd be great, and I'm assuming that's something that can happen outside of session. If we could meet up after, that'd be great.
So it's going to get easier, but
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
a little more thorough.
We're trying to streamline this, yes.
We're trying to make it actually legal and streamlined and actually functioning. So, all right. Does that take care of everything we needed to for your department?
Well, I haven't dealt with this before, so you have another one of us at 1. Do we have to wait till 1, or can
We
I
do,
continue? Okay, then for this, yes, this is the conclusion.
Okay. Anything further from the clerk? Okay, you have offline. Anything further from Grant?
Appreciate you coming in the middle.
Anything else?
Nope.
Fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
No.
That was a
Okay, and with that, this meeting is adjourned.